everybody, let's quickly revise the rules of transformations. Begin with in spite, despite. Arun was weak, but he passed the examination. In spite of being weak, Arun passed the examination. Despite being weak, Arun passed the examination. Point to be noted, with in spite we use of, but despite comes alone. And in both the sentences, placing comma is compulsory. Begin with as soon as, no sooner, and hardly. When the guests arrived, the lights went off. As soon as the guests arrived, the lights went off. No sooner did the guests arrive than the lights went off. When we begin with as soon as, comma is compulsory, but when we begin with no sooner, instead of comma, we use than. As the tense is in past tense, so with as soon as we use only the past tense arrived, but with no sooner we use did after no sooner and V1, that is arrive, after the noun guests. Hardly had the guests arrived when the lights went off. In case of hardly, if the tense is past, we use had after hardly, and verb 3, that is arrived, after the noun the guests. And in place of than, we use when. Begin with unless. If you do not confess your guilt, you will be punished. Unless you confess your guilt, you will be punished. Point to be noted, unless is a negative word, so you can't use any negative word like no or not with it. Begin with although, notwithstanding. He is hardworking, yet he earns little. Although he is hardworking, he earns little. Notwithstanding the fact that he is hardworking, he earns little. In both the cases, placing comma is compulsory. Begin with but for. If you had not supported me, I would have lost the election. But for your support, I would have lost the election. But for is a negative word, so we can't place no or not with it. Preferably, a noun follows but for. Comma is compulsory, and generally the latter portion remains same. Use TWO2. He is so old that he cannot walk. He is too old to walk. The girl is so beautiful that she is admired by all. The girl is too beautiful not to be admired by all. TWO2 is a negative word, so one has to be very careful while using it. For example, the first sentence, he is so old that he cannot walk, is a negative sentence. So in the answer, when we use TWO2, the meaning remains same. But in the second sentence, the girl is so beautiful that she is admired by all is an affirmative sentence. So when we use TWO2, it has to be followed by not to keep the meaning same. Begin with not only but also. John is wise and industrious. Not only is John wise, but also industrious. Besides being wise, John is industrious. Point to be noted, whenever you begin with not only, you have to put the auxiliary verb before the subject. In this case, the auxiliary verb is should be placed before the subject John. Begin with in the event of and owing to. She could not attend the meeting as she was sick. In the event of her sickness, she could not attend the meeting. Owing to her sickness, she could not attend the meeting. In both the cases, we place noun after the phrases. Use nevertheless. In the face of several difficulties, he continued. He met several difficulties. Nevertheless, he continued. Nevertheless is equivalent to but, and you can use it just like but, and no comma is needed. Use lest. If you do not work hard, you will be unsuccessful. Work hard lest you should be unsuccessful. Lest is a negative word and it takes should after it. These are the few things you must do before your exam. Solve previous 10 years question papers. Practice narration, voice change, degree of comparison, joining and other grammar exercises. Learn prepositions and phrasal verbs. And last but not least, practice tense passages. All the best, guys, for your upcoming exams. Just give your best, and I know you all will come through your exams with flying colors.